Have you ever wondered how a pivotal war could forever change the course of history and shape the destiny of a nation? This is the essence of Surah Al-Anfal. This chapter, 8th in the Holy Quran, carries a name that translates to the spoils of war. It's a Medinan surah revealed after a significant event in Islamic history, the Battle of Badr. The context? A fledgling Muslim community in Medina, grappling with the realities of conflict and war. The Surah Al-Anfal delves into the complex dynamics of war, the ethics that govern it, and the spoils it yields. But it's not all about the physical conflicts. At its core, this surah is a spiritual guide, offering insights into the divine guidance that was bestowed upon the Muslims during these challenging times. The Surah Al-Anfal is not just a chapter in a holy book, it's a historical document that sheds light on the morals and values of a society in the midst of a transformative conflict. The Battle of Badr, a pivotal event in Islamic history, forms the crux of Surah Al-Anfal. This remarkable battle took place in the second year of the Hijrah, the migration of Prophet Muhammad and his followers from Mecca to Medina. It was the first significant clash between the nascent Muslim community and their Meccan adversaries, the Quraysh. The Battle of Badr was not merely a physical confrontation, but a test of faith and steadfastness. The Muslims, numbering around 313, were vastly outnumbered by the Quraysh, who boasted a force of nearly 1,000. But the Muslims had something the Quraysh did not: unshakable faith in the divine promise of victory. This battle is reflected in Surah Al-Anfal, which opens with the question of the spoils of war. The surah underscores that the spoils, the material gains of the battle, are less important than the spiritual victory achieved. It's a divine reminder that the ultimate reward is not of this world, but of the hereafter. The surah further delves into the principles of warfare, establishing rules that were revolutionary for the time. It mandates that warfare should always be the last resort, only pursued when all avenues for peace have been exhausted. It also emphasizes the humane treatment of prisoners of war, a stark contrast to the prevalent practices of the time. The Battle of Badr was a victory for the Muslims, but more importantly, it was a victory for the principles of justice, mercy, and compassion that they stood for. It was a demonstration of the power of faith and unity against overwhelming odds. The Battle of Badr serves as a backdrop, but the teachings of Surah Al-Anfal transcend time, providing guidance for all aspects of life, including conflict resolution and justice. This surah serves as a beacon, illuminating the path for those seeking peace, justice, and a righteous way of life. In the heart of Surah Al-Anfal, we find a profound message about divine guidance and trust in God. This is not simply a tale of a battle fought long ago, it's a timeless lesson about faith, trust, and surrendering to a higher power. The verses of Surah Al-Anfal highlight the importance of following divine guidance. They remind us that our understanding is limited, our vision narrow. However, the divine sees all, comprehends all. When we follow this guidance, we align ourselves with a wisdom far greater than our own. It's a path that may seem challenging, even daunting at times, but it's also the path that leads us towards growth, wisdom, and ultimately, towards peace. Take a moment to reflect on the historical context of the Battle of Badr, a key event around which this surah revolves. Here, an outnumbered band of believers faced a formidable enemy, yet they triumphed. Why? They had something far more powerful than weaponry or numerical strength. They had faith, they had trust, they believed in the divine guidance that was guiding their steps, shaping their strategies. Faith, dear listeners, is not just about belief, it's about trust. Trust in God's plan even when it's not immediately clear to us. It's about understanding that sometimes what may seem like a setback or a challenge is actually a stepping stone towards something greater, something more profound. The Battle of Badr was not just a physical confrontation, it was a spiritual journey, a journey that required the believers to place their trust in God, to follow His guidance, even when the odds seemed stacked against them. They had to believe that victory was not just about physical conquest, but about spiritual growth, about deepening their connection with the divine. And so, Surah Al-Anfal echoes down the centuries, reminding us of the power of divine guidance, of the strength that comes from faith, from trust in God. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. that we are part of a larger plan, a divine plan. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, Surah Al-Anfal teaches us to trust in divine guidance and remain steadfast in our faith. Surah Al-Anfal also provides a moral and ethical framework for conducting war. It presents principles that, despite the harsh realities of battle, emphasize the necessity of maintaining a moral compass even amidst the chaos of conflict. One of the most profound principles outlined in this surah is the prohibition of treachery. It is made clear that deceit and betrayal have no place in warfare. The surah asserts that any victory achieved through such means is hollow and ultimately meaningless. It is a powerful reminder that the ends do not justify the means, a concept that is all too often forgotten amidst the fog of war. The surah also underscores the importance of peace agreements. Peace, it suggests, is always the preferred state. Even when conflict seems inevitable, the surah encourages us to seek peaceful resolutions wherever possible. It reminds us that war should always be the last resort, not the first choice. In essence, it promotes the virtues of diplomacy and negotiation over brute force. Furthermore, the surah provides guidance on the fair treatment of prisoners of war. It implores us to treat those captured in conflict with dignity and respect, recognizing their inherent human rights. This is a poignant reminder that even those we fight against are fellow human beings. It is a call to humanity, urging us to rise above the basest instincts of revenge and animosity. These principles, as outlined in Surah Al-Anfal, serve as a moral compass guiding us through the tumultuous seas of conflict. They remind us that even in the throes of war, we are not absolved of our moral and ethical responsibilities. They call upon us to act with integrity, to seek peace, and to respect the dignity of all individuals, even those we may consider our enemies. These verses remind us that even in times of conflict, we must uphold our values and act with justice and compassion. They remind us that regardless of the circumstances, we should always strive to be better, to act not out of anger or revenge, but out of understanding, compassion, and a deep-seated sense of justice. As we reflect on Surah Al-Anfal, we find that it offers far more than a historical account. It is a profound narrative, rich with lessons of faith, morality, and ethics that transcend the confines of time and space. This surah, revealed in the context of the Battle of Badr, serves as a timeless beacon of guidance. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we are never alone. The divine intervention experienced by the Muslims at Badr is a testament to this. The unexpected victory of a small, ill-equipped group over a much larger and better-armed force was not a mere coincidence, but a manifestation of divine support. It signifies that when we place our trust in the Almighty, surrendering to His will and seeking His help, miracles can occur. But Surah Al-Anfal is not just about divine guidance and trust in God. It also provides us with moral and ethical principles that should be the bedrock of our actions, particularly during times of conflict. The surah emphasizes the importance of justice, even towards those who may be our enemies. It teaches us that the spoils of war are not to be hoarded selfishly, but distributed equitably among all. Moreover, it underscores the significance of compassion, reminding us that every life is precious, regardless of religion, race, or nationality. It urges us to treat prisoners of war with kindness and respect, a directive that was revolutionary in the 7th century Arabian context and continues to be relevant today. This surah therefore serves as a moral compass, guiding us towards actions that are not just lawful but also ethical and humane. Furthermore, Surah Al-Anfal encourages introspection and self-improvement. It invites us to view our trials and tribulations as opportunities for spiritual growth and moral refinement. It assures us that every hardship we face is a test, designed to bring out the best in us, to help us grow stronger, more resilient, and more compassionate. It inspires us to transform our struggles into stepping stones, leading us towards a higher spiritual plane. In summary, Surah Al-Anfal is a treasure trove of wisdom and guidance. It provides us with a historical account of the Battle of Badr, but goes beyond that, offering insights into divine guidance, trust in God, and ethical principles of warfare. It teaches us that our actions, even in times of conflict, should always be guided by faith, justice, and compassion. Through Surah Al-Anfal, we learn that our actions, even in times of conflict, should be guided by faith, justice, and compassion. This surah serves as a timeless reminder that our trials and tribulations are opportunities for spiritual growth and moral refinement.